welcome to IGN Anime Club, episode 73, not 37.
You've been gone too long.
I've been gone a very long time. Hi, I'm your host, Miranda Sanchez. I'm back, I guess. Just in time for the holidays. And joining me is Callie Poigi. Hi. And Mike Mamone.
Hey.
This is IGN Anime Club, where we talk about anime and get names wrong.
And all sorts of stuff. You got some numbers wrong.
Yeah.
So now we're just getting words wrong. It's okay. I had a real hard time last episode. If you don't recall, please check out episode 72.
Or you can just check out the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club, where people always clip out the crazy things we do in each episode.
Yep.
Please continue to
And
do
make
that.
fun of us.
It brightens my life. I'm the girl who makes crazy faces.
Yeah, you have like 4 reaction pictures back to back.
Just keep making them, and I'll
This is
keep
what
doing
happens
them.
when I'm gone. Just kidding.
Pretty
Probably
much.
been worse.
No.
We would have been blushing so hard.
I don't know, guys. I just want to warn you guys ahead of time. We're gonna get real squealy.
This is gonna.
episode.
When are we
And
not,
also
though?
this is gonna be a spoilery episode. We'll warn you ahead of time as we launch into each show. But there are gonna be some spoilers ahead.
Yep. So with the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving is a big thing in the United States. We're getting ready to celebrate that and take a long weekend. So we just kind of want to go over the anime that we're thankful for, or specifically the anime episodes that have impacted us in a certain way or that we just love. But before that, we got to get to what we're watching first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Save it for last, Callie.
Okay.
We can
Let's
do
save it for
it.
last? Okay.
Then
Yeah, I
my
know,
stuff
it's
will
hard.
come. My stuff will come last because I have a good segue.
Okay.
So somebody else
Okay.
go.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I'm watching a lot still, but the ones that I was super busy this weekend,
Mike,
and I made what?
we forgot to do the yay anime.
Yay, anime!
Anime!
Okay, so you're super busy this
Oh,
weekend.
whoa! I didn't even.
Yeah, I realized that. And I
mean,
was like, I didn't do it. Oh my god.
We were talking for a bit before the podcast,
Yeah.
so
It's
we
real bad.
started like 5 minutes really before this. But yeah. But anyway, I only had time to watch a few shows this weekend, and I made time to watch Poco's Udon World.
Yeah, you said you really liked that
Oh
one a
my
lot.
god, this is so freaking cute.
Better than Sweetness and Lightning?
By far.
Better than your
By-
best girl from Tanaka-kun is always listless?
Well, I mean, they're not the same.
I mean, she's
a li-
really
she-
cute.
yeah, but she's like in high school, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, Poco's like a kid. Like he can barely make out words.
Aww.
So like he's just like he says a word but like all babyish, and then
Oh my god, anime
throws
baby
his
talk.
hands out like I want, and then like oh my
Okay, so but is it annoying ever?
no.
Okay.
It's kind of
Pretty balanced?
what's nice is that so he comes upon, I kind of talked about this before in the last episode, but I forget the protagonist's name, but the guy comes to take care of Poco, or this little kid, and what happens is that he starts to forget about work, and he starts to forget about like his regular daily life, and kind of like just wants to take care of this kid. And I mean, how can you not? Poco's freaking cute. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those anime where this makes me feel good when I watch it, and also my girlfriend likes watching it with me, so
Aww.
we do that. But yeah, I just love it so much. If I want something that's pretty chill and just want to just be like, aw, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a
Poco's
good-
in the world.
Good feel good show.
Exactly. So that I'm watching.
Wait, is there a lot of udon?
I love
I mean,
udon.
they had udon this last episode. It was off camera, but they did say they ate udon.
Aw.
Oh,
I
God,
love
camera.
udon. I want to see udon.
Not as much as you would think.
Okay.
But it might come in anyway. Yeah. And then I'm still watching Haikyuu. I saw Megan Murphy was starting Haikyuu. She was binge watching it. I'm so proud of you. Keep watching. Oh my god. Yeah. And I was afraid that they were gonna finish the competition before the end of the season, but they're making it work. So,
Okay.
yeah. And then that's all I'll talk about because I have too many.
Aw. Yeah, I definitely want to watch Haikyuu at some point. It's one of those things that's been forever on my watch list. Like, oh, I gotta get this out sometime. And I'm like, oh, but what if I start this show
Watch
instead? And then I forget that Haikyuu exists. I'm like, oh, right, I was supposed to watch that. So I gotta watch Adventure Time.
Yeah, I
Adventure Time
think we're sort of planning a Haikyuu girls' night because our
Oh.
friend Jen has gotten really into BL recently, along with us.
Oops.
Oh.
Sorry, Jen. So we've been just really trying to find everything we can get So we might have to, because I feel like there's good fan fiction out there.
Oh yeah, of Haikyuu? Yeah.
And I just, so we might be doing that soon.
Yeah, I was looking up Haikyuu GIFs on Twitter, and then I saw a GIF, and I'm like, oh, I'm not surprised. But yeah. Anyway, Haikyuu. Yeah, please watch it. Everyone in the group.
So I've been watching stuff that's a little bit less happy. I'll get to the first one that's not happy at all. Magical Girl Raising Project.
A not happy magical girl anime.
So yeah, I've talked about it a little bit before.
Yeah.
It's like Battle Royale but magical girls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it's like that show that you watch and you know you should not love anybody because they're all gonna die.
Oh.
Like, don't get attached to anyone.
Okay.
But even knowing that, it still is really hard to watch because it tackles a lot of really serious life issues like abuse and bullying and alcoholism and all sorts of things. But I mean, it's not like super pointing on each thing, but it is a factor in like why these girls or why these people do what they do. Bundled in with murder. So
murder,
it's like
Kelly's favorite genre.
Yeah, it's really intense.
Did someone say murder? Sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake today, but yes, murder.
Yeah. Magical Girl Racing Project. Just watch that.
So you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I am enjoying it.
Okay.
It's not like the most fantastic show in the world or anything, but it's intense, and I like that. Just like, just
kind of like a
beat that person up, just whack off their head. It's okay.
Is it like a thriller or very shonen? Like.
I mean, it's not really.
I mean,
it's more just more action. Like, I wouldn't say necessarily shonen. Like, just in itself is action with maybe a little bit of thriller. It's not scary or suspenseful.
Yeah.
It's just the fight's coming and it just gets gory.
Oh.
But which is weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it takes a while for it to get there, but it's very intense. And I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to end because we're getting kind of to the end of the season, and I don't really see how they're going to tie up super fast unless a bunch of people die at once.
Okay.
But,
One more question. Like Tokyo Ghoul gory or?
I only watched the first episode of Tokyo Ghoul, and that
was pretty gory.
The version I watched was, like, super censored. So, I don't know. I'll have to get back to it. But I know
like
Tokyo Ghoul's, like...
Psychopath gory or Berserk gory?
Okay, I say more like Psychopaths.
Okay.
Maybe, but gets a little berserk sometimes. I mean, it's just like it takes a while.
Don't we all?
So it takes a while to get to the gore.
Gotcha.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Okay,
it's not
gotcha.
you don't go
not immediate.
straight in. Like at first, it's like, oh man, this is nice, and then it's just like this is not nice. Well, the first scene is not nice, but everything after that for a few while is like, oh yeah,
Okay.
we're
Interesting.
good, and then it's like, oh no, everyone I love is dead. Anyway.
Sounds good. All right, I'll check that out.
Other show I've been watching that I absolutely love, and I hope everyone checks out, is Flip Floppers. I don't know if anybody else on the show is watching it right now.
I've watched a couple episodes, but I'm not caught up.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about it, and I want to watch it, so I might soon enough.
I have not yet watched the Mad Max episode, which I think is going to be the episode that sells me on it. The first two,
it's episode 3.
The first two didn't really sell me on the show completely.
Yeah, it takes.
I
time.
just hate hearing her say coconut. I hate it.
Oh, that's
Shut
right.
up.
I remember this
She just
conversation.
really loves coconut.
Shut up. You don't even know her. So other than that, I like the show. I got really irritated, and partially it's probably just because like I'm an angry cat boy these days. It's just like my personality has morphed into angry cat boy. I keep catching Mankeys in Pokemon and naming them like Yurio and Kyo. And, so I might have to give it another shot. I had to do that with One Punch Man. I had to do that with One Punch Man, which is a show I ended up loving. But the first episode, I was just like, I'm not in the mood to be happy. So, But yeah, so you're liking it still. It's still got you.
Flip Floppers is one of those shows where the objective is not really... where it gets put on the back burner very quickly. It's going to be important, but it's not really what is important. So the goal for these girls is to go to these alternate worlds and find a little stone and a monster that's messing up the world. But it's more about them and exploring these worlds. And it's very fantastical in that sense. Like one of the episodes, like the first half was like super scary. Like genuinely, I had to like minimize it because I couldn't watch it full screen because I was getting really freaked out.
Wow.
I mean, I'm a baby, but it does it really, really well. And every world, even like just if it's everyday life, like they tackle it really well, and it's become especially very heartfelt, as it does kind of dig into more personal issues with the girls and the people around them.
Aww.
So I would recommend
That's
it.
cool.
Yay!
It's
A
like-
ton.
I'm so glad that you're still liking it.
Yeah, it's also super colorful and just pretty. And sorry, she keeps saying Kokona. It does
Damn
not
it.
stop.
It doesn't stop?
I guess I kind of get, not as much as the first episode. Like, you get slapped in the face with Kokona's name a lot.
I think
Um,
I
Ouch.
think I'll
But
be
it
able
does-
to handle it better.
it does tone down that part at least a little bit.
Good.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
I don't want to spoil it because like there are some really fantastic episodes that happened, and I would, like I said, highly recommend it.
So I have to watch it as soon as I get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good at binging. You can get through it.
Yeah, yeah, I will. Don't
That
worry.
sounds like something I will savor because I'm not good at binging.
There you go.
Yeah, holiday
Nice.
break's coming soon, so
Oh yeah.
got
Oh
time.
yeah, that's true. Or that or Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both.
I literally played Pokemon all
Breaks.
weekend, so that's why I didn't watch that many.
Oh man, I
I,
played so much.
I binged reality TV instead.
Nice.
Anyway.
I've also wanted to give a shout out to the Ancient Magus Bride because it's a manga I've been reading. And there was an OVA that came out on Crunchyroll.
Yes.
I was at TGS, so early September, and the next one I think comes out in like February. But if you like that, absolutely get the manga. I think it's on Amazon. I think it's like 7Seas who's publishing it, but they don't have it on Kindle or ebook or anything, so you have to get it as a physical copy. But I highly recommend it. Like, it is a beautiful art, and the story is fantastic. Like, I buy one for myself like every month or every few weeks if I'm feeling generous to myself, which I have been lately. So just a wonderful series, like just magical, cute tale. So
Yeah. How would you describe it as? Because I saw the first episode and
So it's about, I always forget like what, it's like magical realism in that it's like set in England with modern day stuff, but it's
so
out
Harry Potter. No.
kind of, like in a way. I mean, like it's out in the middle of nowhere where this guy, I always forget what they're
Skull
called.
dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's a
he's really
wizard.
good.
Yeah.
What?
Because like there's different
Here,
titles.
let me get the picture.
Because he's not a magician.
Warlock.
No.
Mage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like the other one. Yeah, the
Don't
mage.
know
So
the
he's a mage. There's mages, there's alchemists, and like there's all these kind of like different magics within society, but they're kind of on their own, doing their own thing. And this girl is special for reasons I'm not gonna say just because it's part of the story. And you should probably read it.
That dude.
Yeah, he's real hot. Anyway.
That dude?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been seeing him
pretty cool.
everywhere. It's
Silas
the
is really
skull
cool.
dude. Okay, wait. I'm gonna read this.
He's real good.
He's
Silas is a good
bae.
skull man.
He's a good skull man.
Anyway, so they kind of like coexist
Yeah.
with modern technology, and this girl is an orphan, and she grew up seeing all these fantastical things nobody else could see around her, and it kind of isolated her intensely, and she never really fit in. Eventually, she gets sold as a slave, and he buys her, and then he's
Kinda-
like, "I'm gonna take you as my apprentice, and you don't have chains, and you're free, but you're gonna marry me."
It kind of reminds me of. I didn't catch that actually in the first episode, but it kind of reminds me of a Howling Castle a little bit, just a little bit.
House Moving
Howl's
Castle.
Moving Castle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little.
Is that? Yeah. Well, and just that art style. It's so beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just want.
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
gorgeous.
Just one episode. That's it. That's all. But next season, I believe.
There's one episode because it's just the OVA.
Yeah, I know.
The manga is incredibly different from the OVA.
Oh,
Like
really?
the story is, it's the way the story is told and introduced is different because it has, of
Okay.
course, more time within several volumes of
course.
manga
Yeah.
versus 20 minutes. So they
Yeah.
cram a whole lot in that first OVA. So definitely read the manga. Like,
Should
absolutely read the manga.
Okay.
Should I watch the OVA to gauge whether I'm going to enjoy the manga, or should I start with the
Yeah,
manga?
I think that's fair. Like, if you just like want a taste of what it is without having to just go straight into buying the manga, like I think that's a fair idea.
Yep.
But I think right now there are 5 volumes out, and the 6th is coming out soonish, and
Nice.
they're gonna put out like a special edition with like an extra little book. I'm real excited. Anyway,
Nice.
read that manga.
Sweet.
We
Okay.
don't get to talk about manga much, but
Yeah, I've been
It's
reading
fun.
a lot more manga
mm-hmm.
just because I need to like step away from a screen. not physically stuff. I just need to like turn off my screens before I go to bed.
I should do that.
It's also
But
a
I
great
don't.
place to read some BL.
Oh.
Yeah, I was getting there. No, I mean like I've talked about reading Dragon Ball because I'm trying to get through it without like filler and trying to get through it more quickly than maybe I could if I wanted to like just watch it.
Yeah.
Because I want to get the story refresher for myself. But yeah, I don't know. It just really brings me back. I miss manga a lot because I used to read manga all the time when I was in middle school, and then I was like, people are gonna think I'm weird, and I stopped reading manga. But like my friends and I had this underground trade network of Fruits Basket, and I had a bunch of the volumes, and then I sold them to my friend in 8th grade because I was like, my mom can't know that I read manga, and now I'm like, well, my mom knows all sorts of weird stuff about me now. I don't know. I was an anxious kid, so I was just like, everyone's going to think I'm a weirdo. And then I ended up buying the full set of Fruits Basket manga from a different friend at the end of high school. And it was like, everything happens for a reason. And so that's what I'm going to do over Thanksgiving break, is I'm going to read through my Fruits Basket manga.
Nice.
Because I never finished it.
I love that underground and manga trading.
Oh yeah, we had this network. And then really quickly, I just love manga so much because it just takes me back. Like, they were all reading Bleach and stuff. Then my friend, like, somebody died, and I don't even remember who died.
And
but
Bleach?
In the manga?
Somebody died, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that happens in Bleach.
I don't know anything about Bleach, so I don't know who. But like, my friend was so devastated. This was like 8th grade that she like just kept reading the previous volume because then like her favorite character would still be alive, and like I remember being 13 and being like, oh man, this stuff is heavy. We convinced our 8th grade teacher to let us like put manga on the reading log because you had to like write down the number of pages you read.
Yeah, I did that too.
And we were like, Miss Barrow, we just really want to read this manga. Well, I think at the time we said manga. I want to read this manga. It's like this Japanese comic book, but like it's really sophisticated. Like, and the first word I think had loquacious or something of Fruits Basket, some fancy word. I remember being like, see, this has really big words. My teacher was like, okay, you girls are good at English. Just every 4 pages is 1 page of a regular book. Now go.
Yeah, that's kind of like what my teacher did. She's like, if you count these pages as one, then you have this. Also, you have to be able to write about it, and if you can, then okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just love when we get to talk about manga because it just reminds me of where I got my start.
Okay, Mike, did you have any manga that you read when you were younger? Because I have like a few off the top of my head. I'm like, oh my
no.
god, I have these memories.
Not to the point where I had to like log them for school.
Not had to. We were gaming the system.
Reading.
I was gaming the system.
Okay. No, but I mean, the only manga I actually ever I do still own them actually. I have Shaman King.
Okay.
Some volumes of Shaman King, and then Ragnarok, because I was playing the MMO at the time, and I was like, hey, it's the same thing.
Aw.
And then I bought it at Borders, and then I regret that because it's not a good manga. It's really not that good. But Shaman King was great, and I love that anime. But yeah, it just takes up space.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah.
I love bookshelves.
But it's pretty. Yeah.
My dream is just have this nerd cave, bookshelves, just manga everywhere. I'm starting my Food Wars collection because my friend bought me some Food Wars.
So
love having it. It's so expensive. I just love the look of all the spines.
I live in such a small apartment. That's pretty much what my apartment is right now.
It's bookshelves.
Like bookshelves. It's Star Wars. It's manga. Some Japanese books.
Movies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Japanese textbooks.
Yeah.
Like just a stack of video games. All of the Tom Clancy games that I haven't opened. Like
when I was younger, I read Vampire Knight, Deers, some Fruits Basket because I never got to finish it because it's my sister's.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's something else that I read a lot, but Vampire Knight was my big one, and Deers. I like Deers a lot.
Vampire Knight.
I think my friends really into Inuyasha at the time, but they always pronounced it weird. It was like Inuyasha, but that's not how you say it.
Ugh, no.
It's Inuyasha.
Inu. Inu, like
It's
a dog.
Inuyasha.
Excuse me.
He's a dog man.
But we all said Inuyasha.
Anyway.
So yeah, that was the Ancient
Some other
Magus
time.
Bride.
Yeah.
Read it.
We should just do a full episode about manga. We're gonna get there.
But anyway, nice aside. It's time to get to the big topic. So
we saved yours for last.
Yes.
For good reason.
So the first thing I want to talk about is I tried watching Free Eternal Summer this weekend because I when Free Iwatobi Swim Club came out, I was so into it. My friends and I were freaking out about the swimming anime. If you don't know, there was this big thing when the studio that I'm not remembering right now, they came out with this sort of like tech demo of sorts of like, here's just some swimming we animated. And then Tumblr was just like, make it into an anime. And so for the longest time, my friends and I jokingly called it the swimming anime, and we're so into it. And then, I rewatched all of Yuri on Ice with the aforementioned Jen this weekend. And when we finished it, we were like just sobbing on the floor, basically eating chips. And we were like, what do we do with our lives now? So I was like, hey, did you ever watch Free? And she's like, yeah, I loved Free. And I was like, well, we could try the second season. She's like, there's a second season? So we booted it up, and we were so bored because there's no touching. And we were like, so the problem with Free, in retrospect, which I didn't have when I watched it, that was a joke. That's not the touching is not the problem. That was a joke. The problem I have with it is it just leads you on and never kind of really develops their relationships romantically. It's all like, we're friends on a team. We're a team of friends. And I'm like, but you totally are in love. And you're just denying it. And it was just very... It's almost too tame now. Like, anime... Like, I exceeded what anime could give me, and then anime met my expectations with Yuri on Ice. And now I'm like, I need more. But, yeah, it's just, I can't go back to Free. Like, I don't think I'm going to watch Eternal Summer just because I don't know, there's nothing there for me anymore.
That's a shame.
Yeah. But, you know where there is something?
Anyway, okay, spoilers. If you
If
have not watched the most recent episodes of Yuri on Ice,
full spoilers.
just like,
as of this recording, we're up to episode 7.
yeah, fast forward like 10 minutes. I don't know. Probably not 10 minutes, but like 5 minutes.
30 minutes? No.
The rest of the episode. I'm just kidding. Guys!
So,
all right, so
They kissed.
So, okay.
So they said they kissed. I didn't see it. Did I miss it?
Yes.
Like it was
Yes,
on
you did.
camera, like literally lips to lips.
Their lips got...
So at the end of the episode, Victor's running to Yuri at the end. She's like, yeah, and then he leaps out.
Yes, I saw that.
And then their lips are super shiny.
Yes.
And they get close.
They get close, but it doesn't.
And then they're pulled around like this to kiss. And they're absolutely kissing. Like you can, so people have actually sketched out too, like if you look behind their clothes where their faces
someone
are.
sketched it?
No, yeah, because people are like, did they kiss?
The
It's like, no,
fandom is
absolutely.
on top
man.
of it.
And because people
Okay,
are
yeah,
denying
I'm
that
not
because they're saying like,
surprised,
no, they're just friends. It's like, or some people.
They are not just friends.
It's like this is. They are absolutely gay for each other. Like, please stop saying that they're not.
They're in love.
Yeah, and it's just like you cannot like denying that they kissed is silly. Like I could see as like maybe if you didn't
That's
quite
fair.
catch it, but like absolutely they did. Like if you take a look at it
Okay.
again, like saying, "Hey, look at their faces and how they are touching each other."
Well,
like they cannot not
that's
kiss in
what
that
I was-
situation.
yeah.
And then Victor says, and this was, oh my God. I'll tell you the full saga in a second, but what Victor says is, this is the only thing I could think of to surprise you as much as you surprised me, because Yuri does the quadruple flip. And that was like Victor's signature. And I thought, that is the most romantic, most beautiful thing that anyone could ever say. Because Victor's whole thing is he's like, I'm not surprising anyone anymore. I want to surprise people. And when he's teaching Yurio and Yuri, he's saying, like, you got to do something that will surprise people. And that's why he assigns them Eros and Agape, kind of flipped from what you would expect. And so he has this whole thing with surprising people. And so the fact that he would be surprised by and surprise Yuri is really romantic. And it clearly means a lot to him. And I was so happy. But what happened was, Miranda cried at work. I
had it spoiled.
She had it spoiled for her.
I was so angry, but we learned from our mistakes. So
The kissing part?
yep,
Oh,
that was
my
spoiled for
God.
me. I was just
Yeah.
like,
That sucks.
So Miranda comes into work. It was a bad
it was a
day.
bad morning already.
That was last Wednesday. It was a really bad day. We were not having it. So she comes in. She's like, it was spoiled for me. And immediately I'm like, if it could be that easily spoiled, I'd probably know what it is. but I was like, I'm not going to look. She's like, stay off Twitter. And I was like, okay.
Yes,
So
just stay off Twitter.
I
in the morning.
couldn't watch it until I got home. So I get home, and there were people coming over, but Jen and Jen is a friend that I live with also. That's her contact. That's why I'm watching all this anime with her, as we live together. So Jen and I are like, we gotta watch Yuri on Ice. Like, we shed our coats and our backpacks, and we just immediately get to the couch. We have our wine or whatever, and we watch it. And the whole episode, we're like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just kiss him. And then it happens, and she and I are screaming, just literally screaming. And the person who's coming over opens the door. Chastity, who's been on the show before, opens the door to screaming. And goes, oh my God, what's happening? And we're screaming at the TV, and we're like, don't look, it's a spoiler! And she's like, you guys really freaked me out. I walked up to the door, and you guys were screaming like you were getting murdered. So I felt bad for her that she had to walk into that situation. But it was, and then we like rewound it, and like,
I watched that
frame by frame.
Oh.
Yep, I watched it like 20 times.
Yeah, and then we rewatched it this weekend just to cry it out.
So I do want to bring up that is not the only important scene of this episode.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like, the scene in the garage was so
Yes.
good, too. And, like, watching Victor not really know how to take care of Yuri was really cool. And, like, Yuri figuring out what he needed to do.
I like
In a
that
way.
because it's realistic. Like, my whole thing, when I, like, a couple years ago, I feel like I'm such a broken record, but having anxiety, I always thought, like, in a significant other, something that I have to find is someone who will put up with it. Like, that was how I framed it in my mind. And, like, somebody who knows how to, like, put up with me, basically, was how I, like, framed it. And so it's really helpful to see, like, Yuri's having a problem. He gets really anxious before competitions, and Victor just handles it wrong.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he loves him any less. And he realizes his mistake and learns from it. And Yuri learns from the experience, too. And it's just nice to see, like, a healthy relationship portrayed like that, as like, oh, it's not always perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect to be healthy.
Yeah, like, consoling and motivating are such hard things, especially when you know someone's that anxious, and, like, you see Yuri just, like, an absolute mess, and Victor's trying everything he can, and he ends up making Yuri cry, and it's great, because then they both get what they need out of that, and they figure it out, and then they make it better at the end.
Yeah, and they made him perform better too.
And then
Crying out.
Yuri's also
Yeah.
a little brat, because he's like, oh, that face that Victor made before he started crying, or when he started crying,
Oh, yeah.
like how he liked it or whatever. I'm just like,
I was like, wait.
Yuri.
Just gonna say, and kiss him, not me turns, it's Victor Yuri. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, so just to reiterate, like, we get our giggles out about this show, but there's so many reasons we watch it, and, like, it's just well done. It's so layered.
So we didn't actually get to talk about the significance of them actually kissing too. Like, of course,
Right,
we're
right.
just freaking out that they're kissing, and it's like, yes, but there's also a really big reason that we're also freaking out that they're kissing, because they actually push through with this relationship. So as we were saying earlier with, like, Free, a big thing, like, if I'm sure you guys see around, is, like, queer baiting, and that they're teasing at these relationships for the fun of it, but not really ever engaging or acknowledging them. Like, the subtext is always there, but they never let that happen. And
Yeah, and it can be hard when you see that for people who are queer. You see that, and it's like, it kind of frames queerness as like, oh, like a fling, or it's just really weird flirtations, and
or,
it's,
like, even something to hide in a way too.
yeah, and, like, it doesn't. It's really nice to have it legitimized, especially, like, with how conservative Japan is about, like, actual queerness. Showing a kiss is a pretty big deal, or a really big deal. Just, like, really validating that relationship.
I forget what it's called, but there's a really great feature piece about queer baiting and Yuri on Ice on Anime News Network that I highly
Yes.
recommend people read if you just want to learn more about that and read more up on it. So
Cool.
Yeah, I've talked about it a ton. I feel like I talked about it with Liron and Gurren Lagann and all this stuff.
yeah, there's so much.
There's a lot.
But yeah, so we should probably get on to our topic.
Whoa! Oh God! Yeah.
Halfway through the show already. So as we were saying at the top of the episode, kind of in celebration of Thanksgiving and all that good fuzzy feelings, we kind of want to get into the anime episodes that we're thankful for. So who would like to start?
Me.
So first off, which episode are you going to spoil? Or which show are you going to spoil?
I'm going to spoil Mr. Osomatsu.
Okay.
Ah.
So we just want to let you guys know we will be spoiling some things just because that's like the nature of it. But we will give you a heads up, and each conversation will only be a few minutes long. So
yeah. Probably going to go through
probably
these
fine.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about episode 9 of Mr. Osomatsu, the second kind of half, because the episodes are broken up into half. I love this show so much. It's one of my favorite anime that I just adore watching. It's really funny. But episode 9 gets really serious, and I wasn't expecting that because like every episode is just a series of just physical comedy and cutaway gags and weird references. And then in episode 9, what happens is Jushimatsu, who is the kind of like childlike, carefree, sort of stupid one, but just filled with, he has a good heart, you know. He's out practicing baseball. He just keeps swinging the bat and saying, muscle, muscle, hustle, hustle. He sees a girl who's trying to kill herself and then saves her, and in the process she saves him, basically. And just to have something that real in this comedy was like, oh man, I love these characters for their humor and how they interact, but no, I really love this. Like, they're really getting into it. And it was just a really heartfelt, I cried at this episode. And it's just nice to have a good ending to a suicide narrative in one of my favorite comedies. Very kind of weird blend of things, but I really love that episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Any other episodes that you...
Oh, yeah. Well, this is one that's not as serious. I do want to talk about the Battling Eevee brothers.
That's a great episode.
Spoilers for
Also,
the Pokemon anime if you weren't around in 1999, which is fine. The Battling Eevee brothers is an episode about Eevee and the evolutions. At the time, there were only 3. Whoa.
It's crazy.
Now there's 8. Whoa. So there's 3 brothers. Well, there's 4 brothers, and the 3 older brothers have Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon, and they're pressuring their younger brother to choose which evolution his Eevee should be, but he doesn't want to evolve Eevee, and Eevee doesn't want to evolve either, and basically the younger brother feels so pressured, but he eventually learns that it's okay to just be who you want to be and be yourself, and that you don't have to be anything just because someone thinks you should be. And as a kid, that was a super important episode for me, and it made Eevee one of my favorite Pokemon, which it's now Mimikyu is my favorite Pokemon, but for a long time I was like, Eevee is my favorite Pokemon, I guess, but my love for Mimikyu has surpassed it.
That's also a fun Pokemon Go tip Easter egg.
Yeah.
Because the name of the different brothers is like how you name your Eevee, and then when it levels up, like you can...
Sparky.
Rainer?
Something
like that?
And... something about fire. You know what you can do if you want to know? You can go to IGN.com and look up the Pokemon Go wiki because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have that tip.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice plug.
Yeah.
Well, there's a video for it. Just Google it. It's fine. You can do it. I believe in you.
So I have a few.
Oh, yeah, me too.
First one comes from Sailor Moon because it's one of the most important shows in my entire life, and I would not be who I am today if I didn't have Sailor Moon in my life. Seriously, though. So one of my favorites was the Queen Barrel fight, which is like episode 40 in the English version, or 45 or 46 in the Japanese version, because... Anyway, localization.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I didn't have a lot of lady friends. Like, I had a group of friends that I was somewhat close to and grew up around, but I ended up mostly hanging out with boys and, like, all the time just around guys just because they usually had more things in common with me, like video games and, you know, nerdy stuff and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And they would.
Same.
So with Sailor Moon, it was about... you know, like all these women coming together and fighting together and believing in each other. And I was just like, man, like looking back on it, especially now, I'm just like, dang, no wonder I loved it. because I needed some other ladies in my life. And I did have, like I said, I had a group of friends, but we weren't, like, we hung out, but we weren't, I think, close looking back on it now, as I would have wanted to be with, like, the Sailor Scouts or something. And in that episode, it's when, spoilers, all the Sailor Scouts pretty much die, except for Sailor Moon.
Yeesh.
And then their souls come back and give her the power to defeat Queen Beryl and put everything back to normal.
Oh, man.
And so it's just like this really great moment of course, too, of like seeing Sailor Moon, like Usagi, from coming to this big old crybaby who can't do anything into her own woman who's, you know, doesn't have to rely on her own power, but her friends too, to like overcome this really bad thing. And so it's like she's not alone. You can always depend on your friends. And the toughest of fights. Believe in the power of love.
Thank you.
Anyway.
That's a song, I think.
I just realized.
It's in the movie.
No, it's. Oh, sorry, I have so many feelings right now. It's so important. I would like to correct myself. Quick spoiler for Osomatsu. I had it backwards. The girl saved him, but that's all. I just wanted to correct myself before other people corrected me. But I was like, in my head, I was like, oh wait, I got it reversed. But it's still really
so
good
important. Yeah.
I just misspoke. But anyway, yeah, Sailor Moon is super important. I mean, I was very similar. I only had boy cousins until I was like in middle school or something. I didn't have a girl cousin, so I was always hanging out with older boys in my school, and like Sailor Moon was basically one of the only things I had that was like explicitly for me. Not that boy stuff isn't for girls, but like it was always marketed to boys, and I felt like I was really weird.
It's like one of those important things where having like female relationships when you're a woman or a little girl is like really important because you understand different things growing up. Because the way men and women grow up is kind of different because especially certain parts in our lives and hormones, and just like a lot of different things. So like having that positive like female relationship was really cool to see too, especially since a lot of times it's like men are the superheroes and they're doing cool, but when a woman's there, it's like the one woman by herself and has to have her love interest or something,
and then she always Yoko Ono's it.
So
I hated being the girl rather than a girl, because of the expectations that it puts on you, and I think because of that, only one girl in a group thing, and she gets all the attention from the guys in like every fictional everything. Girls get really competitive with each other.
I found it like for a very long time it was hard for me to be friends with women that I thought would be too similar to me, because then they would be better than me.
Same. Because I was like, I have my boys, and then this other girl comes along, and now they're not because in my mind as a kid, I only understood it as like there's only so much friendship to go around, and guys only can have one female friend because there's only ever one girl, because more than one girl messes things up.
That's interesting.
So when another girl came along and was like friends with my guy friends, even like before I was dating, before like there was any like romantic jealousy, it was always like, oh, they don't like me anymore because I'm not cute enough, or I'm not.
Or it's like because there's like a new girl.
She's
like
better than me somehow. So and like now that's not how it is, and like I've consciously had to fix that in my life. But it's really hard. Like it's very hard to explain if you haven't lived that experience. Like it would take a whole book, so we're not going to elaborate as much. But
it's not like something you chose to do either. Like it's not like a conscious, oh, well, I want to hate other women that are similar to me, because ideally I want more women that are like me so we can be friends. And that's what I thought. And then like the same thing happened to me. Like I had my Call of Duty group of guys, like they were my boys. Then another girl came in, and then she referred to them as her boys. I was like, oh.
Whoa.
This happened to me in high school,
which is terrible. Because like that's not how it should be. Anyway,
and the guys are just like, hey,
it's not fair to her.
It's
not fair to the other girls. Yeah, I had this with this girl named Karen who was on the robotics team, but I wasn't on the robotics team, so she was stealing all my robotics boys. But all the boys asked me out before they asked her out, and I was like, we must be the same person, except I was first choice or something. And now I don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, I got this weird rivalry with this girl who was nothing. We were like totally nice. We were in karate together. It was fine. But like as soon as it was like, oh, my harem of boys, and I didn't even. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I just love having male attention. It was like, I thought that like there was only a limited quantity. And there was, like
suddenly if there's another girl in the group, you get kicked out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that she's bad or anything. It's just that your position has been compromised.
Yeah, or like,
It's
When
it's
That is
bizarre, right?
interesting.
When a guy says like, "Oh my gosh, Karen's so funny," in my mind, that is saying Karen is funny, which means you're not funny.
You know, the guys are probably thinking, we're friends with 2 girls.
I know. So I know
like,
it
so
sounds.
excited.
I know it sounds very silly, but it really deeply affected my life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, me too.
And
Like,
we're
it's-
not the only
We had
ones.
the same problem.
We had the
We
exact
met.
same life. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we met, we were like,
I was super threatened. I was like, I gotta put all my plushies on the table. Like, they gotta look good.
I brought a new plushie in every day for like a week. I was like, everyone has to know that this is everything I care about. And then we got drunk at a bar and we were like, we don't want to fight. And then it was a beautiful moment.
And we're like, oh, we're best
And now we're best friends.
friends. So yeah,
We
so if you
healed
feel-
each other.
If you feel a little like that, like you're the only girl in a group, or you can be the only one, and that there's no room for other girls. Remember Sailor Moon, and that's not the way it is.
There's always room for you.
I know it's like
Remember
silly,
Sailor
but
Moon?
no,
There's
but
always
yeah,
room
like,
for you.
there's not like one of the things that tangent. One of the things I really liked about Ghostbusters was that it was about women being friends and trusting each other and relying
Yeah.
on each other and working together, and you don't see a lot of that in like mainstream media.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, you
So
really
At the
don't.
time,
that's
yeah.
that's why I think it's like so important. Like Sailor Moon and Magical Girl stuff and that kind of thing is so important because you don't see teams of women being competent as friends and not competing over each other, over a guy.
Or being like excessively catty or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just really important to me. It's very hard to like the last thing I want to say is if you feel similarly, because I know that we're not the only ones. We've talked to a lot of other women, especially in this office. Is like one girl being good at something or pretty or well liked does not mean that you are not also good and pretty and well liked, even though there are other things that are important. I mean, those are just examples. But like, I mean, I really had this complex where it was like, if one girl is super cute, then I can't be, then she's the cute one, and I can't be. I have to find a different archetype or whatever. So just remember that there's always room for you, and just like be you, and you don't have to like. If someone, there's nothing that's taken. Like you're not fighting over a job that there's only one of. You know.
Yeah.
Damn anime.
That's what you're saying.
So important.
It's kind of like that for guys as well.
Yeah?
Except we're a little bit more simple. We're just like, we're just, if something bothers us, we're just like, we're cool? Cool. And then we walk away. Because I have 2 younger sisters, and they tell me about it. Like, they have a bunch of friends in middle school, and then for some reason in high school, there was a lot of drama. I'm like, what's going on? You guys grew up together. And then they tell me, I'm like, oh, okay.
Hormones and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's Sailor Moon.
This is what anime does to you. But it's good too. Like
Yeah.
that helps you realize stuff. So yeah.
But,
Yay, anime.
I learned
Yay,
more.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more. So I want to give a shout out to the final episode of Kill la Kill. For multiple reasons.
Go for it.
Okay.
I
It's not super spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
I
it
feel
is
like if you
No.
didn't watch it, you
Even-
wouldn't understand what
Exactly.
she's saying.
Yeah,
also, I
so
don't care, but it's all right.
It's okay. Anyway.
just when Satsuki goes to catch Ryuko at the end and everyone's naked and happy.
Actually, I'm not surprised.
It's really
So I had the big twist spoiled for me.
Aw.
But that is such a powerful moment.
Yeah. Also, I just love things with sisters because I have 2 sisters. I have a little brother too, but I'm sorry, Sam.
Sorry, brother.
He doesn't watch the show.
Thanks for supporting us, Sam.
But yeah, I have a twin sister that I'm super close to, and so anything with like twins or twin sister, I get really emotional about. Like anything with sisters or
Okay.
siblings at all, in any sort of way. And also, they're all naked at the end was fun.
Yeah.
They're all just like
Yeah.
liberated. They're like,
Everybody's-
yeah.
I need to watch that.
So naked.
So happy.
So naked.
Um,
There's like some really brave cosplayers out there that I just
Oh.
admire so much. I
Yep.
saw one with LED nipples.
oh yeah, I've seen this.
Whoa.
So
It's
It's really good. Oh yeah, because their nipples shine purple.
Yeah,
It's a lot to explain.
That's-
Also, this is like also a huge spoiler. But like when Ragyo crushes her own heart, because she's like won't let anybody take control of her power or her anything. Like she is in control. She doesn't care, even if it's her death.
wow.
Kills herself. I'm just like okay.
Like-
Ugh.
Dang, girl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
And I guess my final one, so I can stop talking and be annoying.
It's fine. We're thankful for these
I feel,
episodes. They
I
need
feel
all
like
the time.
guilty about our Sailor Moon rant, but
No.
I hope it was a good
This
thing.
is very interesting. And also makes sense. I mean, at the time, there was like a lot of like Power Rangers and like, gargoyles and then Sailor Moon is like, and Dragon Ball Z, right? So Sailor Moon's, definitely makes sense. Yeah.
Last one is Revolutionary Girl Utena, episode 37. So spoilers for this. This is at the very end of the season, or the show. It's called The One to Revolutionize the World. And this entire time, Utena's been like such an amazing, focused character who's just like set on her ambition to be a prince, to save Anthe, to do all these things. And then when she stops doing that, it's very jarring. And like, I don't want to spoil it because there's people. You guys haven't seen it.
I've not seen it.
I don't want to spoil it.
I was really. That's why I started writing. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
I will not listen.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. I don't want to say it, but that's one of my favorite ones, and we'll talk about it later because I want to spoil it for Callie.
Well,
Okay.
It's really
I'll
important.
watch it ASAP.
It's a really important show. Please watch it. Okay,
Nice.
that's all for me.
I actually,
Be quiet.
I have two others that I didn't get to because
That's
I
fine,
just
go for
wanted
it.
to talk about
Yeah.
girl stuff. I just wanted to highlight the finale of Shirobako, which
Another great anime.
was just so emotional to me because it was one of those endings that, spoilers, if you didn't join us for the watch party, is happy but not in the way that you thought it could be happy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a happy ending because they all get to work together on they finally get to work together on something, but it's not something that they created. It's not the 7 lucky battle gods or whatever. It came together at the last minute. It was full of hardships and stress, but it still worked out. And it was one of those, like, everything happens for a reason and it doesn't happen maybe the way you would expect kind of endings. And that's what it meant to me. So I'm really thankful for that. Just that cathartic cry at the end of that season. And then the other one is Puella Magi Madoka Magica, which I talk about anytime I can. Because, so, super spoilers. Have you seen it, Mike?
No, I haven't, but it's okay. Go for
Okay,
it.
then I'll speak in very vague terms.
No, you can go for it.
No, I will. I'll speak in very vague terms. There's 2 episodes that really hit me. One is the 3rd episode, which is when a certain character dies, and that certain character only wanted friendship, and it just hurt me.
This is my favorite.
It hurt me so bad. But it was also just, from a less emotional standpoint, I was really thankful to have something that took the cute and lighthearted premise and made it really deep by making it dark, which I think can be done wrong, but I think that this show does it really right. And then the finale of that show with the little brother and just like how that show wraps up, I'm really, that's something that I'm thankful for too, because it gave me a different perspective on what loving somebody entails, and like selfish love versus selfless love is a big part of that show. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Nice. I got a few.
All right, Mike, take it away.
Yeah,
All right.
it's all you.
Yeah. All right. So the first one, spoilers again, if you're just joining us. The first, now I forget the episode, but it's Team Kakashi versus Zabuza and Haikyuu from Naruto. It's the first time they've got a real job as a team after getting past their entrance. I don't remember that, but anyway. And this is the first time, and also one of the first anime I've watched where you kind of feel sympathetic towards the bad guy, right? Like, he's not a true bad guy. He's just doing his job, and he just happens to be on the wrong side. And especially with Haikyuu, is who just loves Zabuza so much that he does anything for him, and he doesn't see that. And then seeing that relationship grow deeper as the battle's going on, and understanding what Haikyuu means to him, and also Sasuke doing his cool stuff and Naruto doing his cool stuff. But anyway.
Gosh darn it, Sasuke.
But yeah, there's one of the first episodes I've seen that really made me care about someone that I only like learned like recently, and that's that moment where Haku just sacrifices herself for him, and then as going into when Zabuza again then gets defeated and then finally understands like what Haku was to him, I was just like, oh my god. And also I didn't know it was a boy.
Zabuza, you dummy.
Yeah. So which
That was
yeah,
Baka.
exactly. But anyway, yeah, that episode or that small arc was definitely something that I remember the most. And also the music in Naruto is so beautiful. Like it just knows how to get you going emotionally. So that didn't help me at all. Yeah.
Have you seen that Vine where it's like the kid listening to like a Naruto song in the car, and a friend's like, hey, what's this from? And he's like, oh, it's by this Japanese band. And blah, blah. No, but what's it from?
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
Naruto. Like me with like half the Japanese stuff in my music
it's
library.
So good. That's all that
Yeah.
I have on my.
It's a great way to learn new music.
Well,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good
It's
music.
really good music, yeah.
Like the right kind of music can really make a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what this was.
But it's like those emotional like soundtracks that
Yeah.
just like they play every time and it still gets me. Even like episodes down. Like anyway, so yeah, that one's one that I'm very thankful for, and then also for One Piece, that's what that OP means, by the way.
I figured it
Yeah.
was One Piece.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So and for One Piece, which I adore so much, the arc that got me into it and to kind of pushed me to watch the rest of, or binge watch the rest of that one summer in high school, was the Arlong arc, Arlong Park, because he meets Zoro first, and it's kind of like, hey, Zoro's here, and Zoro's like, I can take care of myself. I was like, you know what, actually help me out, and then they go into
That's such a good summary.
yeah, like they're both very capable, so it wasn't very a climactic episode. But when Nami gets introduced, and then she's very confident first off. And she's a thief, and she knows what she's doing. She can take care of herself, which is great. But then when she finally goes home, and all the things the reason why she's doing what she does is because she's trying to help her town. Mm-hmm. Because Arlong pretty much has them under, house arrest. Like he owns them. So she's just trying to help her family, her sister, and to the point where she just couldn't do anything anymore. And then Luffy's like, just ask me and I'll do it. And then she turns around, there's that iconic scene, she turns around crying and she's like, help me. And then Luffy's like, I got it. And then he beats the crap out of Arlong. Oh my god. Yeah, so they like, and that's and that kind of happens every arc, is where just Luffy he's very oblivious, but he does what he believes in, and because of that, that's why his crew members like would die for him. Like and that's the first one, the first arc where it was just like, man, this is a great anime. And honestly, Arlong Park is probably one of my favorite arcs too. So yeah, so that arc or line, I don't know. When you said episode, I'm like, I don't know the episode. I'm just gonna say
I mean, like, that's so many things.
Counts. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Cool.
yeah. So those two come to mind anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, super shonen.
So be sure to let us know what anime episodes or scenes or just moments really impacted you guys in our Facebook group or on Twitter or wherever. We'd love to hear from you guys, and especially if you haven't checked it out, we do an article every week for these shows. It has a ton of useful information, backlog links, and downloads to the MP3s, and an entire list of all the anime we talk about. So if you missed something, please check it out.
Yeah.
It'll also have a poll in it. A very special kind of poll.
What kind of poll?
A watch party poll.
What?
Wow. What's that, Miranda?
So every week we watch 2 episodes of an anime, and that anime is chosen by you guys. And it's about time we chose another one.
Wow. Already?
Yeah,
Right?
because we watched.
Why is that?
Because we watched Fully Cooley, which is only 6 episodes.
Wow. Thanks, Miranda.
But before we jump into that, thank you guys for sharing your moments.
Yeah.
That were important to you guys. I hope you guys didn't get bored. I
Yeah.
don't
Also,
know.
if we spoiled
I
a bunch
get,
of
like-
stuff for you, I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
Also, really quickly, that one scene in Toradora, you know the one I mean. All right.
I think I know because I think I had to see it for a feature we were doing.
Yes,
I had to
you did.
spoil it for myself, and I was like,
Oh.
well, it's all right. It was gonna happen.
Anyway, okay. So
Okay.
watch party.
Yeah, so first, like I just said, we are going to have a new poll. So if you want to vote for our next watch party, please, please, please go to IGN, find, or even just in Google, IGN Anime Club, episode 73. Click on the link that takes you to IGN, and then you can vote there and campaign or whatever you want to do. And if your show is not in there that you campaign for, sorry.
Good luck
but-
next time.
Yeah, like we don't necessarily want to pull in every show that gets not like campaigned for
Yeah.
because
we also take some from the last.
yeah, and like ideally the stuff that we put in the poll is shows that we can break down really well and like dig deep into. So
Yeah.
there are some shows that are like very front forward, like, hey, this is what it is. All right, it's anime, yay.
Yeah, anime.
And
which
it's
is
like
fine,
fun. Yeah.
But we want to kind of like dig into like more, not necessarily meaningful, but just
Yeah.
deep shows.
I want the kind of show that I can go frame by frame and be like, you see those lips? They kid.
Yeah, and so like
I
there's
gotta
a
watch that again. Still don't believe it, but okay.
Anyway,
they kissed.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't know. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, so like if there's like something like more historical fiction that we can talk about or something like that is a good idea too. And also availability is a big thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it has to be available for streaming.
Something that's hard for people to get.
So
Yeah. But
just be aware of that.
if you have something, like for example, Kevin S. had all these super cool deep dives into Gurren Lagann that were things that I didn't know, just little intricacies about the show. And the show's been around for a while, so we had all this information, and that really made that watch party for me. So if that could be part of your campaign, if you have a show that maybe doesn't look like we could deep dive into it, and you have a case for it, just make your case and we'll check it out.
Yeah.
It's a great point. Also, before we get into this watch party, I want to let you guys know that next week we're going to have a giveaway for some real cool jackets.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't do it this week because it's Thanksgiving and we didn't want to manage it. So, so wait till next
We're
week.
out of here like tomorrow, so
Yeah.
Pretty
So-
wait, today, what's today? One day.
I'm out of here
Okay.
tomorrow.
Got it.
All right. So let's jump into this. We're watching Fully Cooley episodes 3 and 4. We watched those and they were intense. Because Fully Cooley is very intense and wonderful.
Yep.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Tyler DeBoer
Oh, Tyler.
says, I just love when I can recognize a name because the person comments so much. Just makes me happy. So thank you again for just contributing to the watch parties. Tyler DeBoer says, I'm from Facebook. The title of this episode, Marquis de Carabas, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is a reference to the character in the play Naota's class is putting on Puss in Boots. Ninamori is shown to have been given that character, and as the character is the name of the episode, she takes a more center stage in this episode. As Fully Cooley is a series about growing up, here we see another issue that some of us face when it comes to our parents. Well, we've reached the halfway point. Next time, baseball.
Then Greg Garner continues. These episodes offer more insight on what it means to be mature. Gainax's food metaphors continue with the spicy curry that Naruto hates and gets carried over into the next episode.
So, is there Gynex food metaphors everywhere? Is that true? I haven't
too
only
sure.
seen like
Oh,
one
no.
other one.
Chotto.
So, Greg Garner, if you could explain a little bit more for the next one, we'll read it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
If you have the insight.
Because like I'm just thinking of like the pose and the robots.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Gainax.
what?
I can't think of it.
We're a bunch of tired babies.
So-
So, please
Dub?
explain.
There's a reference to Evangelion, which is really cool.
That's great.
Oh,
I don't know if
Which
it's in
one?
the sub, but in the dub for sure.
For Fully Clay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When Naruto's dad is talking about his zines, like I guess they're like ranting about Ava theories and stuff. I was just like, what the heck? Because like robots. And
Yeah.
stuff. I was just like, oh my gosh, this show.
I mean, there's a robot in there living in the house.
is.
Yeah, so.
I love him.
Speaking of
God, he's so
Evangelion,
cute.
I can't not think Neon Genesis Evangelion, like that vine, the vine of oh my god, oh what's his name? Robin Williams saying it because apparently he was a big fan, but he wanted to like make fans mad by mispronouncing it, and so I just. In my mind, I just go, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I want to find that.
It's real good.
But yeah, this episode deals a lot with like divorce and maturity within the kids,
Yes.
which is interesting because so Nina Mori is supposed to be handling very well, as the secretary says, but if you really look at it, she's absolutely not, because she just wants to control Naota. Obviously her casting him as the cat was because she likes him and she wants time with him, but how controlling she's being is kind of evident, that she's kind of using her frustrations maybe with her parents to use it on the play and
when
get what she wants.
When your life when you can't control a certain aspect of your life, you channel that frustration and try to control something else. So it makes a lot of sense. It's one of those things that's divorce, because my parents are still together, so I don't, everything that I understand about it is what from people I'm close to have told me, and from what I've read. So it was this episode was a little bit more, I was more distance from it, I guess. But it's something I want to understand, because it happens to so many, it affects so many people, and for kids especially, it's you can feel very much like it's your fault, or if only I could have done this, when that's not true. And so that's where the controlling stuff comes from.
It's also easy to forget that they're in elementary school.
Yeah.
Naota keeps saying this is for kids. It's you're a kid.
Yeah.
You are a child,
honey.
Yeah.
But yeah, also in this episode, I think they there's a few pieces where he was a lot of innuendos, I think, right? Things got really.
Well, next one I think that's
Is that the one?
about.
Yeah,
the next with the dad.
You might be right.
I mean, it gets kind of sexual always. Though.
It's true.
Always
but there was one of these where it was just whoa.
Welcome to my life.
Cold showers all around.
Flipping the page.
Okay.
Wait, no, not yet.
Yeah, episode 3 was cool, but I think episode 4 is when you kind of bring it back. It's weird to say it's wrangling back into what's going on in the show, considering it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's all coming of age, weird, what.
He takes a big step in episode 4.
Huh?
He takes a big step in episode 4 too.
And especially what's going on with Haruko and why she's there. But I do want to point out that it is important that Nina Mori had the monster transform, or the robot put into her head instead. Because remember, it didn't come out. Naota this time came out of her.
That's true.
It's an important thing.
Yeah, that confuses me, because then first he gets hit again with the Vespa, and then runs into then gets hit by then hits the girl. So I thought that was a chain reaction that then. But yeah, that probably.
Yeah, Haruko just needs to get it under control. I don't think she wants to, though.
That Vespa's dangerous.
Obviously has a mind of its own.
God, I love that scene that when she was driving, there's all those cars.
It's just tumbling. Yeah.
It's what?
Just that animation is so good.
It really
and it's
is.
so diverse. Randomly just changes its style.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about it. It does nothing. It happens. Just different.
Just
Just cause. That's fully cool.
Why not?
It's fully cool.
It's fully cool.
Yeah. So episode 4. Tyler comes back with us. Sorry, it's brain fart. Tyler comes back and says, second half, here we are. I feel that if you're like Haruko and hit a ball out of the atmosphere, that should be game.
That's fair.
Here we're introduced to Commander Amorao. Yeah.
Amorao.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I told you at the beginning of this episode that it's full
Monday.
of mistakes.
It is Monday today, by the way.
I have a short week.
Yeah.
As finally we start to see some of the bigger picture. More than halfway through. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
He seems to know Haruko and explains how the creatures arrive. We're also shown who appears to be his second in command, Lieutenant Kitsurubami. Kitsurubami is traditional Japanese color for brown. In fact, it's the same shade as your skin. Oh, Japan. Also, there we go again with the Japanese language jokes. In that surreal sequence, Haruko comes out the mouth wearing mouse ears.
Yeesh.
Right. As I laid out before, the Japanese language doesn't have a TH sound, so to them, mouth would be similar to mouse.
Oh,
That's
like
interesting.
the show Punchline is a pun because it sounds like punchy line sounds like panty line. That's one of those jokes. I see. I love those.
Shirokuma Cafe has a lot of those jokes. Not panty jokes, but jokes about the words that sound similar to each other.
Yeah. I love how
things.
when that happens in an anime, it has an explanation in the subtitles. It's like
Yeah.
that means that. So
Some
that
translator's
means,
note.
yeah. It's like
All according to
okay,
Keikaku.
okay, yeah.
Keikaku
I would totally
means
miss it.
plan.
Yeah.
People die when they are killed.
So we get to see Naota and Haruko take on the bass bomb. Bass bomb. With
like
my
it.
personal favorite song from the show, Crazy Sunshine by, of course, The Pillows, which is amazing. I love The Pillows. Who designs a bomb satellite to appear as a baseball pitcher.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. So yeah, big part was we know that Haruko is here to kind of like not only investigate but also get information from different Earth organizations. So she's like kind of rogue in a way because she's not necessarily good, but she's not necessarily bad. And it's real sad because Naoto's just in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to grow up. One other important thing I want to point out, like we have a lot of other comments too, but baseball is such a touchy thing for him with his brother, and like so much was put on his brother, even though we get so far away from it. Like he's constantly a thing. Like when it comes to what's her face? I always forget her name. Mamimi, like she's obviously like dated his older brother, and now she's just kind of like flirting around and toying with him, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so much of his life revolves around like what his brother left behind, and him taking that swing with the bat is really important of that, and him maybe like getting over that too, and taking control of his own life.
Yeah.
And not living in his brother's shadow.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time to read all the comments, but I do want to highlight John Sealers on Facebook, which was the quote, "Nothing can happen until you swing the bat." He's just saying that's
right.
a line to live by, and he says that's something that always stuck with me.
Yeah, that's
so I just wanted to, that's sort of summarizing what Miranda was saying, is like that's a really key thing.
Yeah, and then Greg Gardner also hit on that point that, sorry guys, we got to
Yeah.
we got a long episode. It was really hard. Anyway.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
Just that baseball metaphors and like living up to his brother's skills, and we said again, nothing will happen until you swing the bat.
Yeah.
So you gotta just do it, guys.
Just do it, Nike. No, I'm kidding.
Just
Or
yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to get into that.
I don't either.
Yeah, and then I think we have some shout outs at the end.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I put that there.
Yeah.
So shout out to Kadir Gungor. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But he did a really deep analysis for the first watch party of Fully Cooley, and he continues to do that in the Facebook group. So definitely check it out. I mean, it's more of like an overall analysis of the series. So that's why I didn't add it in here, but it's still very interesting, and I think everyone should read it. Yeah.
Cool. Then Frank Acevedo not only draws a bunch of cool things,
That's
but
right.
also did a cover of one of the FLCL tracks.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
We have so many brilliant artists. It's just so cool to see
it's
that.
like, dang, you guys are so cool. I'd be cool.
I'm like, what?
I just whine.
I try to draw, and it's just like a little like stick figure with weird fingers. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Sometimes I draw this little bunny. It has like a bat with nails in it. I'm like, oh, this is a cool bunny, but it's also really not cool because it's real bad.
The only
Go
thing,
bunny.
literally the only thing I can draw, and everyone's going to laugh at me for this, is Toon Link, because I love him.
That makes sense.
I taught myself how to draw Toon Link.
Did you get one of those like art books or?
No, I used to take art, and so I was really good at like sketching things that I could see. I can't sketch anything from my mind, which is why I don't consider myself like a good artist, but I can sketch anything that I see pretty okay, just because I took art classes for like 6 years. So yeah, I just looked at pictures of Link and then just made a drawing, and then I screwed it up by trying to color it. So.
One step at a time.
Yep, sketches only for now, black and white. It's fine.
Okay, and again, if you want to join us in a conversation for Facebook, it's facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club. You can email us at IGN_animeclub@IGN.com. And we're here every week, and we hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And before we go, anything you guys want to plug?
Just keep looking at our Pokemon stuff, please. I worked very hard, and I love it when people say nice things to me, and they mean it. And a lot of people said really nice things to me on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it made me happy this weekend.
That was a great review, by the way.
Thank you.
As of this episode going live on Wednesday, yesterday, this is in the future. Yesterday, I went to a press event for Star Wars: The Old Republic and got some gameplay clips for the new expansion. So check that out. Me and Dustin might even do a commentary video. We'll see about that. But yeah, please.
Awesome.
That's it.
Great. I'm still working on the Watch Dogs 2 wiki, which is why I was out because that game launched and I had to work for a long time. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's mainly what I've been doing.
Yeah.
They took you from
That
us.
is my life. So yeah. So please check that out. Also, the Pokemon Wiki, it's really great. We've also had a lot of Dragon Ball Super reviews going up. I think we published our 3rd one today. So if you guys like anime stuff we do, please check out the reviews that we do and any anime content we have on IGN. It seriously supports us so much, and having your guys' views or comments or anything is really appreciated so that we can keep doing anime stuff for IGN.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really big deal, and it just means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. If you're having a holiday this weekend, happy holidays.
Yes.
And have a good time.
Also, good luck on Black Friday.
Eat food. Yeah.
Get something nice.
Oh yeah, there's like a bunch of anime sales.
Oh.
There's a lot of them everywhere.
Oh,
Anyway.
yeah. Speaking of, we have a huge gift guide thing going on IGN right now.
Yeah, we
So
do.
check that out.
Yeah, that has some stuff. If you're looking for specific anime deals, I know the Facebook group has been posting a lot of them. So
Oh, cool.
Bless you all.
check that out. Anyway,
I
we're
got
actually done now.
Your
Now
new
we-
figure.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.